Gee whiz, people bear witness. Thank you for letting us be ourselves.
Chuck D on the real off the record with the legendary Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the King of Rock.
That's huge, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like to be thinking of a Bruce Springsteen and all the Bono and to be, you know, taking Aerosmith records and just rapping over them and, you know, not even know who these guys were personally about the music, but we knew these guys are famous. This is what, you know, showbiz and music is about when you become like Dylan and all of these guys. Now to be in a place with them,
and understand the reverence and understand that, you know, really seriously being shoulder and shoulder with them. Because, you know, a lot of times people are like, oh, yeah, that's rock. People that just don't know enough, knowing the fact that you know, you're the beginning and the end because the records are all like, you know, like the records and you promoted those records as well as doing those records and making everybody understand that there's other genres that led up to it. At the beginning of it is, you know, the roots of the blues and all that.
The first questions that we would always get is, this was like probably 84, 85. Where do you see yourselves in 5 years? And is rap a fad? We would always get those questions. And just recently, about 2 years ago, I was asked that in like 85 and I was like, I took it personally. Man, in 10 years, I'm going to be back here doing an interview with you. So 2 years recently, I was doing a press conference. The guy put his hand up and said, DMC, 15 years ago, I asked you, where do you think you'll be in 5 years? And you said 10 years. I am that reporter.
Wow.
But you got to understand something. Yeah, I know that's huge. But people got to understand something. Rock and roll and hip hop is brother and sister. Now, if you say hip-hop now, people might not think that because when you say hip-hop, even when you say hip-hop, what's the first thing that comes to your head? The images and concepts over the last 15 years. But for that guy, like you said, who's sitting home, where's this for me? You say hip-hop to him, it's a whole nother paradise that's going to pop up for him. But see, we represented the total existence of the B-girl or the B-boy. Who is that? The female that says they're down with hip-hop culture or the male that's down with hip-hop culture, even to the point of it was regardless of race, creed, color, religion, height, or location. You know, when a white guy says, man, I had a guy said, I'm a hillbilly, D. I am a hillbilly. But when I had my Raising Hell cassette, I would go to my cabin in the woods and put it in my tape recorder. And then my mother and father came home one day and said, let me listen to what you, because the rap thing or whatever it was called, they didn't like it because their perception was when gangster rapping, you know, the negative side of the rap. But he said he sat there with his mother and father and they listened to it and the mother and father was really impressed. They didn't like the hit it run, leave all suckers in the dust, but those dumb MFers, they was like, oh, what's that? But that was only one curse, you know, right there. But the whole thing about this whole hip-hop culture, we were responsible for our well-being. We were responsible for our information. It's just like rap would give some of these kids stuff that they would never hear. But if you look at hip-hop right now, they're getting the same thing over and over and over. Now, when I say you need to say this, my brother, or you need to, it's not a point where I'm hating on you or I'm jealous of the money you get in. You need to say it because if I say it, that little kid down in Tennessee, for instance, he's listening to the Yang Twins album. You gotta rhyme about something other than strip clubs. And what I mean by that is this, not against what they do.
Well, if you're making 14 tracks, at least, you know, some of the tracks should be.
But from this standpoint, if I say it, the kid knows, okay, my brother, my older brother, or even my father, that was his generation. But if the Yang Twins said it, this is all that happens. The kid might go home because you said it, you know, Jeezy or whoever you was. I could say it and I've been saying it. You know what I'm saying? You could go listen to my first record I ever made. I said something of substance. But if you say it, that little kid from your neighborhood in Memphis or Tennessee or wherever it's at, that little 9-year-old boy might go home and write something different.
Well, that's what I said.